Hi friends, and welcome to another lesson. We thank God for the opportunity to learn. Today we are getting the equation of a parabola. There are two main ways in which you can get the equation of this graph, depending on what you are given, okay? So, when you are given x-intercepts, there's one way. When you are given the turning point, that's another way. But in this video, I'm going to show you both ways, so stick around until the end. Look at what we have here. We have two x-intercepts. We have two x-intercepts. So when you are given two x-intercepts, you're going to use the following method. You will use y equals to a into x minus x1, close bracket, open, x minus x2. That's the formula or the equation you're going to use. So now let's just zoom in. x1 is your smaller x-intercept. So in our case, it's going to be the one, negative 1 there. That's your x1. x2 is going to be your other x-intercept, okay? x1 is your one x-intercept, x2 is the other x-intercept. Beautiful. Now, we need to work out a. So in order to get a, we need a point on the graph. That's where this point comes in. So that point is going to give us x and y. So that is the x and the y. So x1 and x2 are x-intercepts. X and y, you'll get those from any other point on the graph. It doesn't have to be the y-intercept, even if there was a point here, as long as you know the coordinates of another point on the graph, any other point, anywhere, as long as the point is on the graph, that point will give you x and your y. All right, so let's go ahead and substitute so that we can work out the value of a. So y, from this coordinate, we can see that x is 0 here, since it's the y-intercept, y is negative 3. So y is minus 3, a, x is 0, minus x1 is minus 1, close, x is 0, minus x2 is 3. I hope you're still good here. Now, multiply and work out the value of a. Inside here, we're going to have 1. You can use a calculator. Inside here, we're going to have minus 3. So we're going to have minus 3 equals to a into minus 3. Because 1 multiplied by negative 3 is going to be minus 3. Then we're going to divide both sides by minus 3, so we can be left with a. So we're going to have 1 equals to a. So the value of a is 1. Remember now, an equation must contain x and y, meaning the y is already at a good place, we want to see there. The x is a good place, we want to see there. Now we must go substitute x1, x2, and the a. And we're going to get our equation. Let's go ahead and do that. Y equals to a is 1 into x we want to see, minus x1 is minus 1, x we want to see, minus x2 is 3. All you have to do now is just to multiply. 1 multiplied by anything is just going to be that thing. Let's work out the brackets now. X, negative times negative is going to be positive. And then we have x minus 3. Now what we have to do is to do the FOIL. We have to multiply the brackets. Let's go ahead and do that. X times x is going to be x squared. X times minus 3, minus 3x. 1 times x, x. 1 times minus 3, minus 3. Then you consolidate. Y equals to x squared. Minus 3x plus x is going to be minus 2x. Minus 3. And that gives us the equation of that graph. I hope you understood everything we've been doing. Now let's move on to the next example. Example number 2. Look at this one. This time we are given the turning point and another point on the graph. Unlike the previous example where we had two x-intercepts, here we have turning point. So when you are given a turning point, this is the formula you're going to use. So when given turning point and you are asked to find the equation, this is the formula you're going to use. Y equals to A into x minus P squared plus Q. All right? P is the x coordinate of the turning point. Okay? P is the x coordinate of the turning point, meaning our P is going to be 1 there. And then Q is the y coordinate of the turning point. Right, meaning minus 4 there is going to be our Q. So the goal again is to work out the value of A, where we're going to get X and Y. Well done if you've guessed that we're going to use any other point on the graph. So the other point that we have here is the minus 3. We know that the X coordinate there is 0 because it's the Y-intercept. So we have 0 and minus 3. 0 is X, minus 3 is Y. So we have the Y, we have X, we have P, we have Q. We can go ahead and work out the value of A. Just remember, for X and Y, you can use any point on the graph. It doesn't really have to be the Y-intercept. Any other point, as long as the point is on the graph, you can use it for X and Y. Let's go ahead and substitute. Our Y is minus 3. A, we are looking for U. X is 0 minus the P is 1 squared plus Q is minus 4. So it's going to be minus 4 there. Brilliant. So what are you going to do? I will take the minus 4 and transpose it, take it the other side of the equal sign. So it's going to be minus 3 plus 4 equals to A into 0 minus 1 squared. Okay, so minus 3 plus 4 is going to be 1 equals to A into 0 minus 1 is going to be minus 1 squared. When you square a negative number, you're going to get positive. So it's just going to be positive 1. And then A multiplied by 1 is going to be A. So we have the value of A. Remember, an equation must be in terms of X and Y only. So meaning we have to get rid of the A. We need to substitute the A. We need to substitute the P, substitute the Q. And we're going to get our equation. Let's go ahead and do that. Y equals to A is 1. X, we want it. P is 1 squared plus, we have minus 4 as Q. Minus 4. All right. So you can multiply anything multiplied by 1 is just going to be that thing squared minus 4. This is good enough. You can leave the equation there unless they say to you, leave the equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. If they say they want the equation in that form, then you have to multiply through. But if they didn't say anything, you can leave it like this. It's okay. All right, let's go ahead and multiply so that we can leave it in that form. You're going to say y equals to, open 2 brackets, and then minus 4. Go ahead and multiply. Y equals to, so it's going to be x times x, it's going to be x squared. X times minus 1 minus x. Minus 1 times x minus x. Minus 1 times minus 1 is going to be plus 1. Don't forget the minus 4 there. Y equals to x squared. Now, sum your like terms. Minus x is going to be minus 2x. Plus 1 minus 4 is going to be minus 3. And that is our equation. If you check, it is the same equation like the one we got in example 1 because we are dealing with the same graph, just that we use 2 different approaches. But those are the 2 main methods that we're going to be using to determine the equation of a parabola. If they give you 2 x-intercepts, use the method we learned in example 1. If they give you the turning point, use this method. I hope you understood everything. If you have any question, like any question, feel free to ask in the comment section. I'll be glad to assist you. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next lesson. I can send you over. Amen.